Let's get you more then on the passing of this actor. Bring in SABC News reporter, senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, who's been outside the family home in Pretoria. Chriselda, no shortage of tributes and outpouring of just really well wishes even to Chweneyagae's family. What have you been able to gather there, firstly, about the circumstances of his death and how the family is dealing with this?
Well, Tembekile, indeed, no shortage of words when it comes to the kind of actor that he was, and in fact, the kind of person that he was. Many of the people who have gathered here are close friends who've come to support the family in this time of grief. Certainly, when we woke up this morning, South Africans, expressing shock and disbelief at the passing of such a young, talented actor who went on to enjoy international acclaim. And certainly you mentioned, Tsotsi, in which that was, Oscar-winning. And, the international fame came after that. And, he was someone many have described as someone who was the same, who was on stage while he was acting, and even when he was off playing these many roles that he played. And just to bring you up to speed, Tembekile, about what we do know now, just a few moments ago, the family did come out to come and brief us as the media that it seems that Presley Chweneyagae will not be buried this week. It will be next week. We're still awaiting the official details at this particular stage. But what we know is that there will also be 2 memorial services which will take place, one in Mahikeng and one here in Pretoria. And this is certainly because of what you mentioned in your intro, that he was born in Mahikeng. So it would be quite, fitting that he also, have the people of his hometown also celebrate his life and what he was to them. So the nitty-gritties, the final details of what exactly is expected to happen will likely be released by the family tomorrow. But what we do now know is that he'll be buried only next week, and that will be here in Pretoria. Those are the details that we're getting, and 2 memorial services which will also take place next week. One in Mahikeng and one here in Pretoria. But no shortage of words, as you mentioned there, Tembekile. And I want to bring in someone who knew Presley Chweneyagae, off all that glitz and glamour, and who also knew him as a personal friend. And I want to bring in Shaks Chisana wa Sekubela, who's a friend and a colleague. But Shaks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's incredibly sad you've been here throughout the day. And, many people are still trying to process the fact that Presley is no longer with us.
A very hard moment to process. What a loss, not only to me, not only to the industry, but to the country at large. When I received the call in this morning, I couldn't take it, and then I was so shocked hearing the news that he's no more. What a great loss.
But Shak, you also were with him on the river, as well as Relativity, and was a stage play. I think it was called Silent Voice. Talk to us about the kind of person that he was. He was always so bubbly.
A bubbly person. Even in rehearsals, he's the one who'll be making jokes. Even on our tours, he's the one who will keep us together. Somebody who loved everybody. Somebody who's always happy, bubbly. He never had grudges with anybody. He was just like that. He was like the characters that he played on TV. He was like Cobra, a man of words. His kindness is unmeasurable. What a loss.
But Shak, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you speaking to us this evening, and condolences once again to all of you. Thank you very much. But Shak, who's Shisana wa Sekubela, is a colleague and friend, and as I indicated, he'd been with him in a number of, when we talk about telenovelas, series, as well as some of the stage plays as well. And, bubbly is certainly what, many people came to see. The very same man who was, on stage, who was on our television screens, And the character that we all saw, many people say that's exactly who he was. And Tembekile, I must share, a moment where I still ask myself, whether he had actually gone off script. You would recall that I played a very small role on the river itself, and I was acting as myself. So I'd been invited there to be a reporter on that particular show. And when we were doing this interview, it happened to be in a tavern that had been erected as part of the show, of course. So during this, a shoot that we had, you could tell that how he just went off script. He started saying, Chrissy. And I thought nobody has ever addressed me as Chrissy when it comes to me interviewing someone. So, he was so witty. He was bubbly. He made me feel comfortable when I was on set. I was incredibly terrified about acting in the so-called position that I needed to act in, acting as myself. But I was so freaked out by the lines that I had to read before I had to go on set. But he really did make one feel comfortable. It's not about me, though, but the many other people that knew him for such a very long time. And those people are describing to you exactly what I'm telling you, is that in the short time that you spend with him, even those that knew him for such a long time will tell you that the man that you saw on screen was the very same man that you saw even off screen.
Chriselda, or shall we say Chrissy Lewis, SABC News reporter tonight outside the Chweneyagae family home, reporting on the passing of the actor